Hello and a very warm welcome to all the viewers of Coffee with Time. Today in our studio, we are extremely privileged to have one of the world's best Sarangi player, Ustad Kamal Sabri. Ustad ji, welcome to our show.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah. So Ustad ji, how was the concert in Manipur University? Would you like to tell us something?
Oh, it was great. There was some nice students there. They attended my concert and I was really happy to play for them and to share the wonderful art of Sarangi playing with them.
Okay. So sir, have you, how do you like this place? Do you like this place? What do you think about
this is I think not the first time that I'm here.
Okay.
I've been here to Manipur many years ago, and it was I was brought by Speak Mackay.
Okay.
It was a northeast tour. First I was in Tripura, Guwahati, and then I came here.
Okay.
And it was Speak Mackay president Mr. Ibo who brought me first time here. And I really love the music, the culture here, especially the music, the folk music of Manipur is amazing.
Yeah.
And I learned few tunes as well.
Okay.
And it's been great. And I played for school children first time, and then this time as well I've been brought by Speak Mackay.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Then I played at the boat with some musicians from Manipur like Randolph, and Vikram was on guitar. So we did a concert here in 2011. It was very well received by Manipuri audience and they loved it. And then I was brought again by Randolph's organization to do a Jugalbandi with Guru Lakpati, who is a Natya Sankirtan singer. And it was also a great concert that we did together. And I really loved playing with Guru Lakpati as well, and also with other Manipuri musicians. Okay, so you have had a very good experience out here, so we can assume that. Yeah, of course, because I also, when I did an album called Sarangi Redefined, so I tribute a musical piece to Manipur. And that piece was called Loktak. Yeah, Loktak. So, and the song was a folk song from here. Yeah. So people loved it. So how did you get an influence of doing that particular track? I really loved the melodies here. It's so deep and so, you know, it brings out the real essence of the soil of Manipur. If you listen to the Manipuri music, you know, from outsider who come first time to Manipur, it's very, very melodious for me. It was, and I fell in love with the Manipuri folk vocal music, you know, and I thought that why not learn few melodies. So I did try, and it happened to be that I was doing an album called Sarangi Redefined at that time, and I thought that I should tribute one piece to Manipur, and that piece became the name of Loktak. And people loved it. Yeah, actually people loved it, and they even talk about it, and even when we go through, and we never expected that somebody so well renowned would come here and they take out a piece. It's not about well renowned, it's about the music, you know. The real musicians always enjoy and always would like to learn some amazing melodies. So I really loved it, and I come from a classical background, you know. I come from a family of classical musicians, but as a true musician, I always would love to know more music, you know. So when I came here first, it was just amazing to listen to those melodies and to learn it. It came out so well in my music CD as well that people really enjoyed that melody more than other songs. Yeah, and it's actually very nice, and I've heard it. It's actually very nice. Thank you. So Guruji, we would like to know about something about your instrument. This Sarangi, you know, Sarangi used to be known as Sarangi. Okay. And Sarangi means an instrument with hundreds of colors, because in Hindi means 100 and Rangi means colorful. Okay. It's not because it has many colors in it. It has only 2 colors, probably white and brown. But it is because of the different musical genres, such in our Indian classical music tradition, such as Dhurpa Sangeet, Khayal Sangeet, and Thumri, Kajri, Chaiti, Hori, Tappa Tarana, folk songs, ghazal, bhajans, all those different melodies, those different genres of Indian music are played on sarangi, film songs, and also venturing into world music. So those are played on sarangi. That's why it's called different, you know, than other musical instrument, sarangi.
Okay, so I've heard that this is just made from one piece of wood.
Yeah, it is made out of a single piece of hardwood.
Okay.
If you look at it, there is no joint here.
Okay.
And this is very skillfully designed by or carved by the sarangi makers. I cannot carve the sarangi. And then there are 3 major gut strings. The third one I used a string from cello, but it traditionally it has to be a gut string as well.
Achha.
And then there are these other sympathetic strings, steel strings, just for the resonance.
Okay.
So they vibrate when you put your finger on the right note, and if the string is tuned according to that note, it will vibrate. So the sound stays for a while.
Okay.
If it is not tuned, then it immediately goes out. You know.
Okay.
So the sarangi, this part of sarangi is sound box, which is covered with the goat skin.
It's a goat skin.
Goat skin, yes. And these small pegs are to tune these strings, and the big pegs to tune these strings. And this is the bow to play sarangi. When I slide the bow on the string, so it creates a vibration on the string, and the sound is produced. And to play a specific melody or a specific note, then you need to use your left hand finger notes. This left hand finger cuticles.
Oh, do you play with the cuticles?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God, that must be very painful.
Fingernails, actually.
Okay.
So when I because normally if you see any musical instrument such as guitar or violin or sitar, those are played by the tips.
Yeah.
So if you see the fingers of sitar player, they will get a cut here because they play from the tips.
Yeah.
But sarangi is played by the cuticles.
So isn't it
probably
painful?
Is the only musical instrument. It is very painful in the beginning.
Okay.
But at the end, when you really want to play well, you need to go through the pain so that you can, at the end, you will gain something. So if you really want to gain something, you need to go through the pain.
Yeah, that's true.
This is what a saying is.
Okay.
So when I put my finger next to the string,
Beautiful, it's beautiful, beautiful, truly mesmerizing.
Recently from I heard this melody somewhere on a YouTube and I really fell in love with this.
Oh, that's beautiful. We've heard that this sounds like the sound of the sarangi is like similar.
The sound of sarangi is the closest instrument to human voice.
Okay.
So it sounds like somebody is singing. And to bring the sarangis forward, it was my father actually did a lot of efforts to bring sarangi on the international platform. He was the first sarangi player who took sarangi to US audience, and he played for European people and different parts of the world. So he was the first sarangi player who took sarangi out of India and introduced it to other parts of the world.
So sir, you are the seventh generation of the musicians. So how do you feel? Do you think that it is an advantage for you to have such a legacy?
Well, it's an advantage as well as it's a big responsibility, and people expect more than just being, if you're not a son of a great legendary musician, people expect more from you, because you're not coming from any normal family. You're coming from a very special family who specializes in a special instrument. So people think that you will definitely do better than others, because you have a father, you have a teacher at home all the time who's teaching you. So it's a big responsibility, and I really thank my family, my father, my brothers, my sisters, who have supported a lot to me. And then my father was the legendary sarangi player, and recently Government of India has released a postage stamp in his memory. And it's been a great journey for me, and it is my responsibility to take it much more forward than what he did.
So how do you feel about your father getting such a postal stamp? Like, such a good recognition?
It's a great recognition to a musician of his caliber, because he was the one who was playing for India's independence in 1947. He was one of the musicians who was there in Parliament House. So now we are all very thankful to the Government of India to have thought about it and to tribute him with a great postage stamp. It's amazing, and we really thank to the Government of India.
So sir, you've got so many international awards, like the Nashville Award and the Gold Music Award. So getting such recognitions outside, what made you bring here, and what,
See, whenever we get these kind of awards, it's make us more responsible towards our music. It's not that that you get an award and you think that you have done everything and you above all. It's not like that. It's when you get a recognition, and when people like you, they love your music. It becomes you have to be more and more responsible towards your art form, and to do a kind of work which can bring pleasure to people's ear, and they can enjoy your music. I always say that my music is to heal people.
Heal people.
Exactly, and I always look into the. I'm always in search of those, ragas, those which I can really help people to get healed with their wounds, and I'm trying my best, and still moving on.
Okay. So there are a lot of aspiring musicians. So they have a vision to go to achieve awards or whatever you have achieved yet, and they still have a vision to achieve all that things. So if you think, if you consider yourself, where do you see yourself?
I feel that whoever musicians want to do, if they are not able to do, first of all, the first step to be a musician is to find a right guru. To learn properly from him, to get guidance for it, and then always remember that above all there is Almighty, who make things happen, who really can do things which you cannot even expect. So you should always pray for yourself, pray for your art, and he will guide you in a way that you will find a nice teacher, because in Urdu, Urdu language, there is a saying that Ustad ho Kamil, Shagird ho Amil, Khuda ho Shamil. That means that your teacher should be completed as a musician, and then the students should be able to listen to him and follow him, and listen to his guidance and follow his guidance. And then God's blessings are there. So nobody can stop you. These three things are the major, guidance, major keys to success.
Okay. So, sir, you're from Senia Gharana. So how
Muradabad.
much,
Senia
yeah.
Muradabad Gharana is
Okay.
our Gharana.
Okay.
Basically, because my father was my great grandfather, they were all Sarangi players of Muradabad. So now we mostly call it a Muradabad Gharana.
Okay.
Because he was the one, my father was the one who brought this Gharana in front.
Okay.
And he made this Gharana popular because he was the legendary Sarangi player from Muradabad who became so, known around the world.
So your father must be very proud of you that you're taking
Well,
his legacy.
he always said that never be proud of anything, be thankful.
Okay.
This is the most word that he used, that never be proud, never be, think that you are doing so great. Always be thankful to God, and then God will give you more and more blessings. And if you become proud of yourself or of your father, proud is a negative term, according to him.
Okay. So, sir, you being a brand ambassador, we can say a brand ambassador of Sarangi. So, how would you like to take this instrument forward, or take it to the remote places, or anywhere?
This was my idea. I used to live in England, and I was getting more concerts in different places. I had a band there, so I was playing with different musicians, but I was not feeling contented in my heart because I wanted to learn more deeper classical music. I was very young at that time, and then I thought that I should go back to my father and learn it more deeper and try to play 1 hour Indian classical music raga,
Okay.
At
So,
least.
sir, basically your childhood was in abroad.
I grew up
Okay.
in Europe, but I always wanted to come back, to India because I wasn't happy, doing the kind of music I was doing there.
Okay.
Because, but that also taught me a lot how to bring your music with other cultures, how to find a meeting point with other musicians to bring your music with them. So it's not that our culture is the best or their culture is the best. It's about creating a music which really, if you're sitting together with other musicians, your idea, your aim should be to bring out kind of musicians who can bring pleasure to people's ear, not to compete with each other.
Yeah.
So that was my idea, and when I was not able to play different ragas, I never used to feel, happy. And unless if you ask to play a kajri, and you are living in Europe, you will never know what kajri is because you have never gone to this soil,
Yeah.
Such as that. This incident that I came to Manipur and I came closer to the people to understand more deeper, the music, deeper of people's thinking. So if I don't go close to them, if I don't go to that place, I won't be able to do justice to their music.
Yeah.
So it was very important for me to go interiors, remote areas to understand our country, to understand my country, to understand the music of my country. If I'm not able to produce that kajri with my music, or a Manipuri folk song or a folk song from Rajasthan, I'm not doing justice to my music.
Yeah, that's true.
And that will never attract or that will never affect anyone. There won't be any impact on my audience. So to understand that, you need to go closer to the soil, to understand the music, to understand the people, to understand the culture, to understand the different mindset of people, so that you can really bring that element out of your music. When they hear, they go crazy about you. This is what I always wanted to do. That's what I thought, that I should be in India and should travel. And that's why I with Speak Make, I am able to go to the remote areas to perform for people who never heard Sarangi in their life.
Yeah, it's true.
And probably never seen it, I'm getting good response from students, good response from the audience, and I'm really happy for it. God's grace.
Since we have talked a lot about kajri, can we have a small piece
Yeah,
of kajri?
of course, definitely. I'll play another folk song. I just played a recent melody for you that I heard and tried to learn. That's the next melody that I will play.
Yeah, sure. Ustadji, beautiful. So we'll have to take a short break now, and we'll come back with Ustadji with more talks. Please stay tuned.
Machalgi Sasinaba Products Singdagi Jackson Biu. Kanglaipak Spices Industry na puthokpa Machalgi atopa manaba manufacturing unit amata leizade. KSI na puthokpa Machalgi asengba products sing asibu khangnabagidama packaging da KSI logo Kanglaipak Spices Industry yaubara haina check tobiu. Amasung packaging da ISO 9001-2008 or ISO 9001 or 2015 asi yaubara haina check tobiu. Lalamung Makong Takhela Mamlekai Rims Road Factory Thangwaiban Sinam Lekai haina thari basin taba atopa amata Machalgi asengba product natte sasinaba amasung malhanba singdagi Jackson Biu hena kupamarol khangnaba lengsinbirau Machal Kanglaipak Spices Industry Lalamung Makong Takhela Mamlekai Rims Road Factory Thangwaiban Sinam Lekai near Lamphel Lampak natraga logon tobiu www.machalspices.com or Facebook/machalspices natraga email tobirau info@machalspices.com.
Nang natamibi school IPS have to do yam chikli fay hai kam do gine.
My school is a quality-based English school. It has very competent teachers. They are highly qualified. The principal of my school is a strict disciplinarian. He teaches a student in higher classes.
Hey ma, isa di IPS ki boarding ke lerup degi English ke command jo phajna le rahe, lyrics jo hamare personality talent jo phajna le rahe na.
To speak English is compulsory at our school and boarding. I have the habit of speaking English all the time.
Adom gi angang singbo Kanchipur da leba IPS haibad Imphal Public Higher Secondary School da ming chanbiu loinan afaba bahiroi bayanbiu.
IPS, the Imphal Public Higher Secondary School, Kanchipur, Imphal, near Manipur University First Gate. Admission opens from pre-nursery to class 9, both school and boarding. IPS, top choice for your child's career.
Welcome back. So Ustadji, we would like to know that had you not born in a music family, what would you have done?
I would have been a cricketer or a film star, because I always wanted to be a, I used to play cricket a lot in my childhood, and my father was always angry at me that I was not giving enough attention to Sarangi, and the ball of cricket is so hard that if it hits your fingers, you might get injured and not being able to play anymore.
The instrument.
The instrument, yeah.
Okay.
So my father was very angry at me all the time but I used to love cricket a lot. So if I was not a musician, I would definitely be a Sarangi, a film star or a cricketer.
You can definitely become a film star because you have that charm and looks in you.
Thank you. But I'm so happy now that I'm playing Sarangi. Something challenging work was given to me, and I'm getting success in it, God's grace.
Okay. So sir, it's like to carry the legacy forward, I would like to know, can women carry the legacy forward in your...
I'm sure, of course, because nowadays women are not less than a man, they're doing their bits and they're getting success in every field, not only music. They are officers, they're doing everything. So if I was, if only my father had only a woman child, in those days it was not allowed for women to be a musician, but nowadays it is okay. So I'm sure if my father was at this time and he had only one girl in the family, I'm sure he would have allowed her to play.
So you will allow your upcoming generations?
I have two sons, so I don't know.
So I've seen in the gharanas, mostly the legacy that they take forward is mostly by the son.
I think there are female musicians who are doing really great nowadays in the south of India, in north of India, and as a musician and classical musicians. There are a few, women musicians who are amazingly talented. Also in singers, look at Lata ji, what she did.
Yeah, of course.
She being a woman, she conquered the film industry,
playback
singing.
Yeah.
And she is the one who is the queen, So I'm sure if I had a girl, you know, I would have allowed her, definitely.
That's wonderful, that's wonderful. So sir, did it ever happen to you that under your rigorous training when you were young, you ever wanted to just leave everything and...
Of course, you know, because let me tell you an incident, because Sarangi has this kind of sound, you know, which if it is not tuned, it can really sound horrible.
Okay.
And I was a child, I was given a little Sarangi, and that time, that's our family Sarangi.
Okay.
My father learnt on that, and my great-father, great-grandfather, grandfather all learnt, and then I was the fortunate one who was given that
The
Sarangi.
durability is like long.
So I was around 5 when I started.
Okay.
So my father gave me that instrument, and I used to practice. But once my instrument was out of tune and I was trying to play, and that time Sarangi was sounding, you know, I got scared. I thought, what kind of sounds are coming out of my instrument? I ran to the next room to my father. I said, Father, what that sound is, you know? I'm getting scared of this instrument. Should I really play it? And he started laughing, you know, because he said, no, it's not tuned. You take it easy.
Okay.
I'll go and tune your instrument. You come and play, and then this will sound amazing, beautiful.
Yeah, I'm sure. And we would also like to know that you have done concerts so many places.
I have, you know, all around the world, God's grace. I have had the privilege to play solo Sarangi in many festivals in India and all around the world. But it is always a big responsibility when you play for your own people in India, because when you go abroad, you're carrying the flag of your country. But when you come to India, there are maestros, there are connoisseurs of music who are sitting in front of you, they understand. So I always used to be more, you know, responsible. It's not that when I play outside I'm not responsible, it's just that being more, you know, careful about what I'm doing and how I'm playing the raga. Because to play a raga for me, it's like you're going deep into ocean, you know. And in that ocean, you have to follow a rule. Rules and laws of that ocean, how to swim in it. Like you've been, you know, you've been thrown in an ocean and you are asked not to touch, you know, that corner. You cannot go to that place. But you can swim and enjoy that ocean. So for me, a raga is like an ocean, you know, where you can really enjoy and feel like you're not in this world. You're part of a, you know, paradise where everything is glorified, everything is amazing, everything is just out of the world, you know.
That's nice. And what are the audience responses in abroad and compared to abroad and in India?
Audience response is always positive for Indian music, because our music is very, very well accepted all around the globe because of the spiritual power that our music has. They think that it's the most spiritual music.
Okay.
And that music has the most spiritual power, Indian music, and they love our music. And classical music, I think, is coming back to the younger generation now, and more because of those reality shows as well, that people who have a good foundation of Indian classical music or classical music, they can sing better than those who don't have that foundation.
Okay.
And those who don't have, they always are very curious to know, how is she doing like this, you know, how is he doing like this, how can he modulate his voice so nicely.
Yeah.
Then they understand, oh, because of the foundation of Indian classical music. So if you have a good foundation, you can make a big building easily, and if the foundation is weak, you won't be able to survive for too long, you know. There will be a day when you will understand, oh, that's the end for me. So knowledge, musical knowledge, foundation of music always will keep you, you know, above many other people.
So what are the perks and disadvantages of being a musician, or as to say instrumentalist?
Well, musician's life, I think everyone has to go through ups and downs, and musician's life is not so easy to be able to make, you know, to survive in this world. But I also had many hurdles and obstacles initially. But God's grace, at the end of the day, there is a saying that it's always, you know, that you achieve at the end, and that's what makes you happy, and forget about your hurdles, and you still remember it too, so that you don't feel that, oh, I got this opportunity without any obstacle, but without any pain that I have to go through. But at the end of the day, when you enjoy what you're doing, you know, what you wanted to do, and you're getting success in it, that's the best part of it. And that's the best enjoyment anybody could have.
So would you like to share something that, like, your best experiences after having a concert?
Best experience, I remember when I played with one of the great musicians, the great saxophonist with Jan Garbarek. I was very young at that time, and he was a legendary. He was he's still legendary, but he was very elderly to me, you know.
Okay.
And he made me at ease because I was so scared of his presence, you know, because his caliber. And I told him, you know, should I be able to play? What should I play? And this and that. He said, just feel free, you know, just be yourself, and just follow what I am doing and play together with me. That's what makes me really happy, that I was at a level of him, you know, and made me at that time. I was very young to him, and he was a great legendary. He's always been a jazz saxophonist, you know. It was a great success for me, and I felt very happy about it that I should have played for him.
Yeah. So you also do some fusion music.
I
like
did
jazz.
a lot of music with other musicians, you know, around the world. And God's grace, all my experimental music has been accepted really open-handedly with people, and I thank to them, and I really feel privileged that I got all this opportunity, and I thank God for this as well.
So people out here, they love jazz and blues. So if you can play some part of it.
I can try, you know.
Yeah.
I had composed a composition in my album called Sarangi Fun, and it is called Jazzy Rangi.
Okay.
And it's in a scale of blues.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we would like to know, if not Senia Gharana, which Gharana would you have?
Well, you know, I'm thankful that I was born in a family of musicians where music and Sarangi has been there for many, many generations. So I would like to be born again in Muradabad Gharana.
Oh, that's wonderful, that's wonderful. So wonderful.
And always, you know, be happy to play Sarangi in my other life as well. And because one life is not enough, there's a saying that one life is not enough to be able to play the proper instrument properly, you know. So I think I would always be coming in this world to play Sarangi.
That's wonderful. That's the, like, when we hear that thing, we actually know that, okay, why you're a maestro in this particular field.
It's all God's grace and teaching of my father and my guru.
Yeah. So, if not your family, who are your other favorite artists?
I really used to, from my childhood, I used to admire a cricketer called Imran Khan, who is the Prime Minister of Pakistan.
Okay.
He was because I used to love the way he used to bowl, and of course Sunil Gavaskar ji and all those different. And in singers, I always admire Michael Jackson.
Yeah, okay.
Pop star, pop music. And classical music, of course, the great legendary Ustad Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab, Ustad Amir Khan Sahab, Pandit Bhimsen Joshi ji. These are always, you know, been that I used to hear the music. And my father, of course. And in terms of fusion music, I like A.R. Rahman's music a lot. He did good mix of different cultures and different, you know, art forms, and he was amazing. He has done some tremendous work.
So, sir, if we ask about what do you think about if we ask about a comparison of instruments and vocals, so what?
Well, sarangi has been the closest instrument to human voice. Actually,
Yeah.
I should give you an example. देखो सके कन्हैया रोके ठाणो है गले पने आभरण कैसे जाऊं रे वाली देखो सके कन्हैया रोके गामा बदने सरेजा दानी बदा साने दापा धागा मगा सारे सागामा पदरे सारे सवारे दापा मगा मदरे
Beautiful. Sir,
just
it's beautiful.
an example to show you how it works.
Okay,
You know.
okay. So nowadays we see most of the vocalists, they use a harmonium.
Yes, because there are less sarangi players who are, you know, who know how to really accompany the vocalist properly.
Okay.
It was my father actually, the most renowned accompanist. He used to be known as Sangha Samrat, as Sarangi Samrat. He had actually given, because sarangi is known as 100 colors instrument, and those 100 colors of sarangi has been brought out by the legendary Ustad Sabri. So accompaniment was another aspect of sarangi playing, where he conquered all the vocalists. You know, he played with many vocalists of different gharanas. So he had the immense knowledge of music in terms of classical gharana system knowledge. He had the different knowledge of you know, compositions, ragas. Some ragas are specialized by some gharanas, and he had the knowledge of them. So, and sometimes there was an incident that sometimes if a vocalist singing a raga and he didn't know the raga, but he is accompanying him like, you know, he knows it, and he can really play at par level as a vocalist is singing. Sometimes he can be better, because he has been. He had the knowledge, immense knowledge of how to, you know, play those different tans, you know, different compositions. So that's why he was able to do it, because he was considered as the greatest, you know, sarangi accompanist to vocal performers.
That's wonderful. And so finally, the one last question that I would like to ask you is, what advice would you give to the people of Manipur and to the aspiring musicians? I would say that not only for Manipur, but musicians who are, you know, budding artists. I would definitely say that it's always right to listen to guitar music, to listen to other, you know, Western instruments. There is no harm in it. But don't forget what is sarangi, what is flute. Always try to listen to the alap actually. It won't make you a great musician, but will definitely help you to be a better human being, you know. Because music is also a kind of therapy. Because once there was an incident when Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the politician, was ill, and my father used to go and play sarangi for him, because he was advised by the doctors to listen to sweet instruments, and sarangi was one of the most sweet instruments that one could ever imagine. And my father used to go and play for him, and you won't believe he started getting better out of that treatment that my father was giving him, and he completely got out of that, you know, that problem. That's wonderful.
So it's also a therapy, and if you listen to alap of Indian classical music, it will boost it will bring you more energy, and concentrate and, you know, meditate with that alap. It will be an immense treatment for your, human values, you know, and it'll make you better person as well.
Okay, I hope all the aspiring musicians will take our Ustad's word. And finally, it's a general question from everybody. Have you tried Manipuri food here?
Yes, I did.
Did you like it?
I enjoyed it, yes.
Okay.
And I really loved the chutney, you know.
Okay. So you really enjoyed it?
I did.
Oh, we are glad you enjoyed it. And Ustad Ji, it has been a great time talking to you here, and a great privilege for us to have you here. So we'll look up for more meetings like this.
Inshallah,
and
definitely.
We'll hope for more success for you. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's our privilege. So this is all we have for today, and we'll be back with more news and with more shows. So thank you.